If you'd like to make your NFL games a little more interesting, you've come to the right place. It's the Even Money Podcast with Ross Tucker and Steve Fezzik.
Vegas, baby, Vegas. It is the Even Money Podcast presented by DraftKings, America's #1 rated sportsbook app. I'm Ross Tucker, former NFL offensive lineman, 5 teams, 7 years. Now I got a bunch of different podcasts like the power rankings I did on today's Ross Tucker football podcast, which you should check out. And how about the college draft podcast? We are now picking the games against the spread. And Emory Hunt, my guy on the college draft podcast, was awesome last week. I got a text message from one of you, a buddy of mine, that says Emory was money on that Oregon lock college draft. I'm going to listen to it every week now. So I love it. A lot of you also love the fact that you can become patrons, patreon.com/RTmedia. And one of our tuckheads, Sean Grady, posts all of the bets Steve and I make here on this show on our private Slack channel for you tuckheads there. So just go to patreon.com/RTmedia, sign up at the tuckheads level, and you are good to go to be able to not have to write down our bets each week. You can just see them and then decide which ones you want to trail or not. I'm Ross Tucker at Ross Tucker NFL, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We have a YouTube page now, youtube.com/Ross Tucker NFL. All of our stuff is on the YouTube page. We also post the highlight clips to at Ross Tucker Pod on Twitter and on Instagram. Star of this show, though, is Steve Fezzik. I say it all the time. It's true. He is the only 2-time winner of the Super Bowl of professional football gambling. I am not. Check him out on Twitter at Fezzik Sports and only at Fezzik Sports. And Steve, it was great to see you in person for the second time ever, albeit briefly, and we were distanced and we had the masks on and we had the whole deal, but it was great to actually be in your presence.
Yeah, and you were staying right across from the I-15 from the Allegiant Stadium at the Four Seasons. And what a stadium, Ross. Give me your takeaways now that you're back from Vegas on the new stadium.
It's just spectacular. I mean, every angle of it, it's just amazing what they can build. It's just amazing how big it is, how beautiful it is from the outside. Inside, everything is immaculate, so well done. I mean, the reality is, Steve, I think the city of Oakland not giving the Raiders a new stadium is going to end up being the best thing in like one of the best things in franchise history.
Think about the valuation of the Raiders, how much they're going to be worth in 2025 versus what they were worth in Oakland. It's not unreasonable that they're going to go up 10 times in value, right, based upon this move.
I mean, I don't know about 10 times, but I was thinking double. I mean, it's a lot more. There's no question it's a lot more. Just the stadium and everything that goes along with it. It's unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, Steve, we do this every week. We're one of the only shows that actually goes back. Look, here's the deal. We spend about 10 minutes on the week before so that you guys can track our bets. Sean Grady grades us. You can go back and check it on the Patreon. We do it for you. It's truth in advertising. We've been very successful over the years. And we tell you exactly how I was down this week. Again, I was down 2 units. It sucked. It was a battle to even make it so it wasn't a disgraceful week for me. I had to battle back Sunday night, last night. I was able to battle back to make it somewhat decent and not just get blown out of the water. We always say it, Steve, betting on the NFL is tough. The lines are sharp. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and that's all they would do. It's hard. So anyway, we do it because we want you guys to know how we did the week before. And then we also, of course, make our picks for the next week. And we do it usually, try to do it in less than 30 minutes. So let's get into last week. Again, thank you to Sean Grady, our awesome Australian who does all the grading. It's unbelievable. He's got the outlay, the return, the balance, the ROI percentage, the strike rate, the points total. I mean, it's unbelievable, all the information that he has, that he grades us on. Highly encourage you to check it out. And all these lines, as always, are from DraftKings. So this review is presented by DraftKings. The first bet we had, Steve, was on Broncos Falcons. I put 2 units on the Broncos. You put 2 units on the over. You won. Falcons won 34-27. It flew over. And I got to tell you, Steve, I had a rough 1 o'clock. I mean, I bet all these underdogs getting more than a field goal. The Broncos, the Bears, the Lions. They were all losing by like 3 scores. I'm watching the games like, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, that never happens in the NFL. Usually it's like, okay, are they going to kick a field goal? Are they going to get a touchdown and get it within 1 score? They were getting smoked. So I lost 2 units there. The next 2 were our best bets. Bears and Lions. We had Bears getting 5.5. Lions getting 4.5. Nope. Titans won by 7. The Bears offense was inept. Vikings won by 14 as the Lions defense is pathetic. We lost both those bets, Steve. 4 units for both of us. That sucked. I hate the Bears and I hate the Lions.
I hate the Bears as well. Bears 2 for 15 on third down conversions against the team, the Titans, that were giving up 55% conversion rate. So think about this. It's almost like a free throw shooter that's a 55% shooter going 2 for 15 from the line. A complete statement about the Bears and where their offense is right now.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Colts, Ravens, the line at DraftKings. How about this? On Tuesday, people sometimes want us to do the show on Wednesday or Thursday. We get, guys, the most important thing, and Steve, you always talk about this, is final line value. And we get you, I mean, I told you to take the Colts getting 3. They were favored by the time the game kicked off. Now it didn't work. They lost 24-10. I lost the unit. Sorry, so did you. But the point is, I got good final line value. That was a unit there. Giants and Washington. That was a best bet that came through. I wish I put 2 units on it, Steve, like you did. I only put 1 unit on it. The Giants were getting 3. They won it outright. So that was good. I wish I would have taken the Panthers. Still kicking myself over that. I had a strong lean there. We had nothing on Raiders, Chargers. Oh, no, I take that back. Raiders, Chargers. I had the teaser. I teased the Raiders up to 7.5, 2-team teaser, and I had the Patriots down to -1. That was close last night. But I had the Raiders teased up, so that ended up being a winner. Teasers have been good to me. There's no doubt about it. Steelers, Cowboys. We had nothing. Dolphins, Cardinals. I lean Dolphins, you lean Cardinals. Came through for me. Saints, Bucks. The Saints were getting 5.5 points. They obliterate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was a best bet, Steve. You and I both had 2 units on it. So thank goodness the Saints came through. So we were 2-2 on our best bets. We lost Bears and Lions. We won Giants and Saints. My question for you, Steve, how much stock do you put in one game for both the Bucks and the Saints? Do you just wipe it off the board, or is it a big game?
I'm never going to wipe it off the board as well, and that's the bat phone. I will ignore it. I apologize for that. The fact that it was such an obliteration. Let's face it, Tampa Bay, they've got a turnover on the 1-yard line. It should have been 38-0 at the end of the first half. So absolutely crazy that Tampa could get obliterated that bad. I have to wonder if experience didn't matter. You got a Tampa Bay team that hasn't had a winning record in forever, and you got a Saints team that's played 5 playoff games the past 3 years. So one team used to the big stage, one team not, and I think that was apparent Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, and then finally, I mentioned earlier, Patriots beat the Jets on a last-second field goal last night, 30-27. I had teased the Patriots down to -1. So for the week, Steve, you were up 2 units. I was down 2 units. For the year, I am up 14 units. You are up 6 units. Our best bets, we were 2-2 for the week. So for the year, our best bets, we are 16-11, a strike rate of 59%. Again, our lines are all always brought to you by DraftKings. Please use the code Ross when you get the DraftKings app on your phone. If you send me something this week, you proof, I'll send you a signed card, signed picture, whatever you want. All you have to do is take a screenshot, send it to me, ross@rosstucker.com. Let's dive into week 10 in the NFL.
All right, guys. Well, let's start. Ross, why don't you start it off as you always do? Thursday night football. It's the Colts at the Tennessee Titans. Titans laying 2 points with a total of 48.5.
Yeah, I don't have very much on this game. In fact, most of my bets, Steve, that I like this week are teaser legs, and I'm really deciding which teaser legs to take. I'm going to pass this game. I'd probably lay the 2 points if we're doing these forced leans now for you guys. I'd probably lay the 2 points with the Titans. I think that they played pretty well against the Bears and that they're at home, short week against the Colts, but don't have a real good vibe on this one.
I'm going to go ahead and play 2 teasers in this game. I'm going to tease the Colts from 2 up to 8. I think that the Titans are a complete fraud. They had those 4 close wins against bad teams to start the year when they wound up starting 5-0. The +3 turnover game against Pittsburgh, where they still lost despite being +3. Just break after break. And in the game against the Bears, they went ahead and got a defensive touchdown to open up that big lead and only got 11 first downs. So I'm going to play them with 2 teasers, 2 units each. I'm going to tease the Colts with the Baltimore Ravens down to 1.5. That's for 2 units. And I'm going to do another teaser. I'm going to tease the Colts with the Chargers. I'm going to take the Chargers up to 8.5. Quick note on teasers for those who want the ugly math. I'm not going to lay it out here. Go to this guy, Sharp Sports Betting, Stanford Wong. He'll explain why teasers are good bets. Or one of my other favorite books, Weighing the Odds in Sports Betting, King Yao. Both of them will explain why we tease through the 3 and the 7 in the NFL.
All right, Steve, let's move on to Sunday. We've got no line for Washington and Detroit, so we'll move on to Houston and Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns laying 3.5 points, a total of 53.
Yeah, so my power ratings actually say I should play against Cleveland, but the forecast for this game is for winds 20 miles an hour, and the mere fact that Cleveland, I know they laid an egg, but they got to play in those awful windy conditions, and now they get to see it again. Advantage Cleveland, especially against a dome team from the South that can't run the ball and wants to pass. So I'll lean, because of the weather, to Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so tell me about the weather again, Steve. What are the winds?
20 miles an hour is the initial forecast, but who knows what it will be on Sunday. And we saw that game that Cleveland, that 16-6 game that Cleveland played with 40-mile-an-hour winds just recently.
Yeah, now you got me thinking. I liked Houston plus the 3.5. I'll just do 1 unit on Houston plus the 3.5. I think Deshaun Watson's playing well. I don't really know what to expect with the Browns, with the COVID situation, with Baker Mayfield, as well as I just feel like Deshaun Watson's playing well. So 1 unit plus the 3, Houston plus the 3.5 for me. Now, why aren't you taking the under if the wind's supposed to be like that, Steve?
Because if there was no wind, I would be chunk betting the over. So I think the total's already partially reflective of that. And 20 miles an hour is kind of the point of demarcation. If it goes above that, that really impacts the offenses. If it's only 15 miles an hour, it's not a big deal.
And Bri, I'm looking at it. It just popped up on my screen for DraftKings. Washington's getting 4. Detroit's laying 4. So I'm going to go ahead, Steve. I'm going to put 2 units on Washington. I like Alex Smith. I think he played better. I don't think he'll have those interceptions again. I don't know what's going on with Detroit. So Washington +4 is a 2-unit bet for me, Steve. How about you?
I can't trust Alex Smith. Every time he drops back to pass, I'm frightened, Russ. Frightened at what might happen. 5 turnover game against the Giants. I'm going to pass that game.
All right. So who's next? Let's go with you, Steve. Jacksonville and Green Bay, where the Packers are favored by 13.5 points with a total of 52.
Yeah, and I don't typically bet as often on these big spread games. And it all comes down to motivation. And is a team going to go ahead and take the other team seriously? And I'm not sure that the Packers are going to. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this game.
This is well, do you have a lean, Steve? We got to remember to do the forced leans. I keep forgetting.
I'll lean to the favorite.
Got it. Okay, I will 13.5 is a lot of points. I'll probably lean Green Bay too. I don't know. Now they got some tape on Jake Luton. They know what he's going to do. I'll lean Green Bay as well.
Ross, the Philadelphia Eagles are laying 3 points at the New York Giants with a total of 44.
That certainly seems like where the line should be in my mind. I guess if anything right now, I think the Giants could be a decent teaser leg if you tease them up to 9, if you wanted to go that route. In fact, no, you know what? I got other ones I like more. So I'll just say I'll lean to the Giants getting the 3 points, just based on how the Eagles have played these days and the fact that Giants seem like they're able to keep it tight.
So the Giants get a phony win with a +5 turnover against the Washington football team. And in fact, that's the team that the Giants can beat. They can't beat anyone else. The Eagles get healthier off the bye. I'll lay the 3, 2 units on Philly.
All right, Steve, we are now going to focus on Tampa Bay and Carolina. The Bucks, 4.5 point favorites. Total is 50.5.
Wow. Power move here on the underdog. And I agree with it. This spread was just 6 early this morning, all the way down to 4.5. We lose some value, but I will still take the underdog. I love what Carolina's doing, playing fast and loose, faking punts up 7-3 in the first quarter, playing to win instead of playing not to lose. Teddy Bridgewater sacrificing his body to pick up first downs. Take the dog +4.5, 2 units.
Yeah, I'm going to take Carolina as well. I'm afraid of the wrath of Tom. And I know I've seen that before. I think the Bucks were embarrassed, and I'm a little bit worried that they're going to come out and take it to Carolina. So I'm only going to put 1 unit on it. If the Bucks had won against the Saints, I'd be putting 2 units on Carolina. But because of the way they got embarrassed by New Orleans, it's only 1 because I'm afraid the Bucks are going to come out smoking. 1 unit, Carolina +4.5. That's the best bet.
The best bet.
Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Raiders favored by 5 in this one with a total of 52. Ross.
Well, I'm kind of done with the Broncos. I don't know what their deal is, but they fall so far behind in these games. Their defense isn't what I thought it would be. So I would actually, I guess I would still lean Denver getting the 5 points, but I don't feel good about it at all. Which is why I'm going to stay away from the game. I really, this is one where it's definitely a forced lean. I guess I'll take the Broncos because they're getting 5, but I don't like it.
I'm going to go to the total. I'm going to take 2 units on the over. Don't have to worry about any weather in the dome. Denver, if nothing else, has been very good offensively in the second half after they get behind, and the Raiders are a dead nut over team. Drew Lock, bring me in on the over.
You know what, Steve? I'm gonna go with you on that. I'm doing 2 units over 52 as well because the Raiders offense has been nice. The Broncos defense has not been what I thought it was. I'll put 2 units on the over 52 for a best bet as well.
The best bet.
All right, Steve, the next game is Buffalo and Arizona, and the Cardinals are 2-point favorites in this one with a high total of 56.
Yeah, I was all ready to play the over in this game, and the total steamed up to the point I think it got away from me. So I'll lean to Arizona. I'll lean to the over, but I tell you what, playing an over 56, you can have a whole lot of offense and still not get there. So just leans.
So this feels like a game that's going to come down to whoever has the ball last and a one-score game, field goal, touchdown, whether it's Josh Allen or Kyler Murray. I'm going to tease Buffalo at +2. I'm going to tease them up to +8. And I will pair that with Seattle against the Rams. Same logic. It just feels like it comes down to a one-score game late. And one-score game late, I'll take the chance that worst case I push with the +8. So Buffalo +2 teased up to +8. Seattle +2 against the Rams teased up to +8. 2 units.
All right. Next game, Ross, we've got the Chargers at the Dolphins. Dolphins, 2.5 points. They are laying there. They're favored in that one. Total is 48.
Yeah, this seems like another pretty darn good teaser leg to me to tease the Chargers up to 8.5 because they'll lose by 1 score like they seemingly do every single game. So if you're looking for more teaser legs, I think that would be a good one. I will just lean Dolphins. Really impressed with what I saw from Tua Tagovailoa. You're not even giving up a full field goal there. That line is a little bit fishy to me. In fact, you know what? I'm changing my mind, Steve. I'm putting 1 unit on Miami, laying the 2.5.
And I already played the Chargers in a teaser. Hey, all the Chargers do is lose close games. That's all I need them to do here. So previously I had teased the Colts with the Chargers for 2 units.
Steve, our next game at Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. We're showing the Pittsburgh Steelers as a 7.5-point favorite, but no total.
Yeah, so this game was off the board at many places. COVID tracing for Big Ben. I guess it was the tight end had COVID, and so now they just have to have some guys test negative to be able to play. Given that, I would have bet the Bengals. However, the Steelers had such a bad effort and almost lost as a 14-point favorite. And because of that, we might get a more focused Pittsburgh bunch here. I will lean Bengals.
Yeah, I would lean Bengals as well at that number for sure. It feels like Joey backdoor cover Burrow does a really nice job of just keeping his team in it until the end, one way or the other. By the way, Big Ben played better after he hurt his knees, or I guess both knees, which is hilarious to me. He played better. He seems like a guy that, to me, I know there's a bunch of ex-NFL guys that are really into CBD, Steve. I can see Roethlisberger doing that. CBD, Cushy Dreams, KUSHY, they actually offer a full lineup of premium smokable CBD. So they've got all kinds of awesome different CBD. They got pre-roll CBD joints. Most of you know what CBD is. You get all the health benefits of CBD without getting high. There's like no THC in there. It's cannabis that ships directly to you, and it's legal in all 50 states. So there's a lot of different ones out there. If you're sick of vapes and gummies, if you want to smoke your CBD, Cushy Dreams. Go to Cushy, KUSHY, dreams.com to get some high-quality CBD at checkout. Use the promo code EvenMoney for 20% off every order. Every order when you use EvenMoney. So the first order, the second order, the third order, cushydreams.com, Kushy dreams.com. Smoke your CBD. Make sure you use the code EvenMoney.
All right, next game, Ross, we've got the Seattle Seahawks. They are getting 2 points at the Los Angeles Rams. Total is 55.5.
Yep, talked about them earlier. I'm teasing them up to +8. I think, look, I don't know if they'll win it, but I think it'll be a field goal game either way. I think they'll be there, one score. So I'll tease them up similarly like I did with Buffalo and Arizona.
So I'm on the Rams for 2 units. I think this is a great spot for the Rams. Remember, this team has been to the East Coast already 4 times. So no team has more travel fatigue than the Rams. And frankly, they crushed Miami in the stats, outgained them by over 300 yards, 31-8 in first downs. But not 1, not 2, but 3 defensive and special teams touchdowns. You get to the 1-yard line. I count that as a touchdown. Basically set Miami up. So Miami scored 28 against the Rams with their offense really only getting 7 points. And that was only a 33-yard drive. So having that bye, no team needed a bye more than the Rams because of the travel fatigue. I wish Seattle had won last week. Nevertheless, Rams 2 units.
Steve, the New Orleans Saints are at home. They are taking on the San Francisco 49ers. 9.5-point favorites are the Saints with a total of 50.
You know, that performance against Green Bay really showed, I think, that San Francisco has become a seller and has written off the year. Just too many injuries. Trade Quan Alexander. I can't back the 49ers right now. I will lean to the favorite.
Yeah, I probably would lean New Orleans. They looked awesome Sunday night. I don't know what to expect from the 49ers at this point. So that's a big number, but I'd probably lean New Orleans as well, laying the 9.5.
Sunday Night Football, Ross, the Baltimore Ravens at the New England Patriots. The Ravens 7.5-point favorites with a total of 42.5.
Yeah, I mean, 7.5 is a tough number to lay. But I think the Ravens win the game. I just think they're a better team than the Patriots right now. So I'll tease it down from -7.5 to -1.5. I'm teasing the Ravens down, and I'm going to pair that with the Chicago Bears from +3 up to +9. I hate the Bears, but they're not going to lose by more than 9 at home to the Vikings on Monday Night Football. I think the defense will come out and play better. So Ravens down to -1.5, Bears up to +9, 2-unit, 2-team teaser.
And my teaser was with the Ravens. I agree with you, playing them with the Colts for 2 units. I would be remiss not to comment on the end of the Jets New England game last night. Ross, billion-dollar companies here, and yet stuff that everyone I know knows about. Somehow some of these teams haven't got the memo. Situation, game's tied. New England has the ball on their own 47, 8 seconds left. Every NFL defense should have a play called the mug shot play. Basically, one-time play, you tackle every receiver on the line of scrimmage, flags fly everywhere, defensive holding. New England gets 5 yards, and then they can try their Hail Mary. Now, you can't do this on successive plays because then there's a rule to eliminate this loophole that no time will run off the clock. But you can do it for one play, and yet seemingly no one is aware of it, at least on the bad teams. That's why New England didn't have to go to overtime last night, because the Jets are dummies. I'm done.
Good point, Steve. Very good point.
All right, Monday Night Football, Steve, the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. The Vikings are laying 2.5 points. Total in this one is 44.5.
Very interesting. So I look at my power ratings, and it says Bears. I look at past history, and I know the Vikings aren't good on the road, playing a winning team in the elements. So everything points to the Bears, and the eye test says the Vikings and Dalvin Cook are playing awesome, and they're going to crush the Bears. So with those going in completely opposite directions, you know what? I will go with the history more than the eye test and lean to the Bears.
Yeah, and I just said it already. I've got the Bears teased up to +9. on a 2-team teaser with the Ravens. So both Sunday night and Monday night, I'll have a little action, a little sweat late in the week. That'll do it for this week's Even Money podcast. You guys know the deal with DraftKings. If you sign up for them this week, I will go ahead and sign whatever you want me to sign, a card or a picture. I've got it for you. You're an automatic winner. And remember, you can get all of these bets that we just made in written format if you become a Tuckhead over at patreon.com/RTmedia. Other than that, good luck, everybody. Hope you guys win some money.
Thanks for listening to the Even Money Podcast. Make sure to also subscribe to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, The Fantasy Feast, Business of Sports, and the College Draft. All available at Apple Podcasts, rosstucker.com, or wherever podcasts can be found.